with that, welcome to today's video. In other words, the Constellation of Leo, a YakuLev Fluff one-shot. Is it another soulmate to you? Yes, absolutely. Do I regret it? No, not at all. I'm kinda obsessed with them right now, so bear with me and have fun. Everyone has a unique soul mark somewhere on their body, sharing it with only one other person in the world, their soulmate. Where's Yaku? Oh, he's still in the club room resting his ankle. I wanted to check on him in a... I can do that. He cut him off and reached for his jacket, already on his way to the door. The surprise on Koto's face quickly turned into a smug grin as he watched the silver-haired eagerly gathering his things. He crossed his arms before his chest. It's funny seeing you running toward him for once and not away. He expected some snarky reply, but Liev surprised him yet again when he stayed uncharacteristically serious. I feel like I should apologize to him. I didn't really get it before, but all this hard training was so that I could stay on the court and play and be part of the team. I made his job unnecessarily difficult just because I was too stupid to understand teamwork. True, but don't beat yourself up over this. You're practically still a beginner at this whole volleyball thing. Nobody expects you to play perfect right away. Liev nodded, but looked down. Still. Now, come on, listen to your senpai. The most important part of volleyball is confidence. Yours might be a bit annoying at times, but don't lose it now. I thought you wanted to be the ace someday. I will be. I'm practically Nekoma's ace already. Kuro grinned, successfully ignoring Yamamoto's shouting from the back. There it is. But if you still want to talk to Yaku, you better hurry. That idiot is too stubborn for his own good. And he by far isn't the only one. Liev threw the bag he was still holding over his shoulder and made his way to their club room. He gently knocked on the door before walking in, finding Yaku struggling to tape his ankle properly. I can help you with that if you like. The libero looked up surprised. His eyes narrowed slightly as he quirked his brow, visibly irritated. Did Kuro send you? Nope, I offered. A wide smile spread on his face as he walked over to the smaller, taking the tape from his hands and kneeling down beside him. Wait, do you even have any idea how to do this? It's not just like putting on a bandage, you know? I know. My dads do figure skating and they take me with them sometimes. Ankle injuries aren't exactly uncommon. He chuckled while sorting the materials. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, they're quite good at it too, but I never really got into the sport. Alicia did. She is awesome on the ice, like gravity doesn't apply to her anymore. It's amazing. Oh, and Yurio. He's kinda our uncle / weird cat lady. He's really good at it too. Taught us some stuff when we were younger. I'm pretty sure I could still do some jumps if I would try today. He went on, and Yaku found that he liked listening to his stories. He always did, except when he tried to teach him receives. Then they got kinda annoying. A smile spread on Yaku's face as Liev carefully removed the messily applied tape. He should be embarrassed, considering he out of all people ought to know how to tape a sprained ankle, yet somehow Liev made him feel at ease. Just don't try anything crazy right before the tournament. Wouldn't want all the training to be for nothing. His smile grew wider as he awaited Liev's response. But it never came. Surprised, the libero looked at the taller, whose gaze zeroed in on the skin right above this ankle. A sudden heat rose to his cheeks as Yaku realized that Liev stared at the now clearly visible mark wrapping itself around Yaku's leg, his soul mark. A furious blush dusted his cheeks as he looked away, or at least he attempted to, but his eyes strayed back to the silver-haired over and over again. It's just a stupid soul mark, Liev. It's the constellation of Leo. I know. He slowly reached for his collar and pulled it down, exposing the skin. My parents named me after it. Yaku's heart practically stopped as Liev exposed the very same mark just below his clavicle, the constellation of Leo. Thin lines connected little dots, delicately shaping the image. His soul mark. Their soul marks. He could barely breathe as the meaning sank in. His eyes traced the mark over and over again, following the intricate pattern in disbelief. My mother, although I barely remember her, I was very young when she died, but she loved the mark, told me my soulmate must be someone very special. Naming me after it was for good luck and to remind me that I wouldn't have to be scared, that there was someone out there that was waiting for me, so all I had to do was live my life to the fullest, no matter what. He was babbling again, fumbling nervously with the collar of his shirt, all while avoiding eye contact. If I had known that it was you. The words were left unfinished, hanging in the air. It made nervous shivers run down Yaku's spine. Would you still have come here, if you knew? Yaku turned his head away, not willing to admit that he was fighting tears. He didn't even know why, but this whole thing became suddenly overwhelming. And if Liev would be disappointed that he was a soulmate, he didn't know what to do with that. Had he been too rough on him? He always called him annoying and loud, even disrespectful at times, yet maybe he had been the rude one. Would Liev even want to be with someone like him? What? Of course I would. If I knew, I would have wanted to be with you much sooner. God, I'm so stupid. How did I never notice it was you? I guess I just didn't expect to meet my soulmate this early. I'm so sorry, Yaku-san. His eyes sparkled with excitement and regret, but not because they were soulmates. Liev wanted to be his soulmate. Yaku's breath hitched and a strangled sob clawed its way from his throat. Immediately, Liev flinched, reaching his hands out to the smaller. Yaku, are you crying? He shook his head and forced a barely convincing no out of his mouth. Liev gently touched his arm. It caused a wave of warmth to inhabit his body, soothed the tremors running through his system, and made him breathe more steadily again. The effects lasted mere seconds as Liev slowly shied away again. His fingers left Yaku's arm as he carefully took a step back. I'm sorry, Yaku-san. I guess I'm not what you expected. Yaku's eyes opened wide and he looked at Liev with utter shock written on his face. The taller looked like a kicked puppy, head hanging low as he turned away from him to leave. Liev, wait! His voice was shaky and he got up instinctively, flinching when his injured foot hit the floor. He reached out his hand, barely managing to get a hold of Liev's sleeve before falling as the hot pain seemed to flood his system from the point he touched the ground. Two strong arms caught him before he could collide with the hardwood, and when he looked up, emerald green eyes, glassy and filled with worry, met his. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Yaku, careful. You're hurt. A small chuckle bubbled up in his chest at Liev's brilliant observation. He leaned further into his touch as the taller guided them back to the bench. Liev, listen. Let me finish taping this first. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have run out like that. I completely forgot. I was just so distracted. I'm sorry. It's okay. I messed up. He would like to claim Liev could listen while treating his ankle, but Yaku knew from experience that talking to Liev while he was doing something was not a good idea, so he settled for watching him. His touch was incredibly gentle and his technique more defined than Yaku would have imagined. He really seemed practiced in it. Whenever his fingers grazed over the soulmark or came close, he hesitated for a second, admiring the pattern. He looked at it in awe, which time and time again caused an unfamiliar heat to rise to Yaku's cheeks. He had never seen someone treat a soulmark with so much care. He himself didn't hold it in high regards, but Liev seemed utterly fascinated by it. When he finally finished treating him, Yaku was a blushing mess. The words he had prepared before in his head were all gone, and he felt as though they got stuck in his throat. What was it you wanted to say, Yaku-san? He still looked down, not nearly as cheerful as would be normal for him. Why do you care so much about soulmates and marks? The words just blurted out. Liev looked as surprised as he himself felt, and he wanted nothing more than to bash his head into a wall for his utter stupidity. This would hardly convince him that he cared, more likely the opposite. He thought about it for a moment. Yaku didn't even really expect an answer and was just glad that he didn't try to go away again. He doubted his foot could handle any more strain. I think, well, you see, my dads are soulmates, and my biological parents were too. In all the photos I have of them, they looked so happy, and my dads, even though they fight sometimes, always love each other so much. I guess I just hope that I could be the same someday. But, don't be pressured or anything. If Yaku's face had been dusted pink before, it was now crimson red. Liev's words made his heart skip a beat, while simultaneously making him wish the ground would swallow him whole to hide his embarrassment. I'd like that. He avoided eye contact, knowing fully well that Liev's puppy eyes would be the end of him. What? But I thought... You misunderstood me as usual, dumbass. I was afraid you wouldn't want me. I haven't been exactly nice to you. Are you kidding me? You are amazing, Yaku. You taught me so much. Without you, I wouldn't even have been able to play today. I actually came here to apologize for being difficult. He nervously scratched the back of his neck, and Yaku smiled. Well, I can't argue with that. Hey, this was your cue to say that I wasn't that bad. YakuLev. Nah, I wouldn't lie to my soulmate. The word made both of their faces burn up again, but this time they didn't turn away, just smiled at each other. So, you don't mind that we are soulmates? He shook his head. Do you? Of course not. Without much thinking, Liev opened his arms widely and pulled him into a hug. Yaku tried to escape, which proved to be difficult with an injured foot. He ended up cradled against the tallest chest, trying to the best of his abilities not to melt into the embrace and give away how much he liked it. Liev. Yes, Mori? Yaku's blush darkened, and he punched him lightly in the side. Don't call me that. Liev whined. Why not? You're my soulmate. Yes, but even so, this won't work from one day to the other. I bet your dads will tell you the same thing. Take me out on a date first. He crossed his arms over his chest and looked away. It was barely convincing while he was still in his arms and made no attempt at leaving the comforting warmth anytime soon. Liev laughed, carefree as usual, and pulled him tighter. Of course, everything for you. His heart skipped a beat. Again. God, Liev would be the death of him. He knew it. Thank you all for watching to the end. Truly, I am very well aware that this is not the best I've ever written. I'm not that good with fluff, and I really like the idea of it, having the soulmark with the constellation of Leo and Leah's name also being lion and all that stuff. But, well, the execution was lacking. I'm aware. Still liked it though, and sometimes we have to upload things that are a tiny bit cringe, just because. Also, did it help that I was completely tired when editing this? No. Did I still do it? Yes. Anyway, I'm so grateful that you stayed till the end, and I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day because you deserve it.